Assalamu alaikum, my beloved students. How are you? Hope you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIBS Home School. Here I am Lokman, an assistant teacher of English, National Ideal English Version School, Deship. Now I am going to take an English literature class for the students of class 4. Our today's topic has been taken from Unit 9, Buzzword Communicative Book. And in this chapter, it has been discussed about a boy and his childhood memories. First of all, I will tell you a story about the boy. You may have heard the name of this boy. The boy is Nelson Mandela, who was the president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. And he always tried to protest the right of black people in his lifetime. Even though he was awarded Nobel Prize for his extraordinary contribution. He was a politician, he was a great leader, and he was a social worker also. Let's start to read out the boyhood memories of Nelson Mandela. Before going to main story, we need to be introduced with some vocabulary. We have to read out the vocabulary first so that we can easily understand our passage. Okay, in my first vocabulary, struggle. Struggle means difficulties faced in life. Second one is source. Source means a person. A source can be a person, a place or thing from which you can get something information. Okay, next one is slingshot. Slingshot is a one kind of toy. This is a slingshot, you can see. Have you ever seen this slingshot? Okay, so a stick shaped like with a rubber band attached with it. This is a rubber band. And this is a stick made out from branches of tree, and this is the rubber band attached to it. This is our slingshot. Okay. Next one is roller coaster. Twine. A strong string formed by two or more strands twisted together. Next one is roller coasters. Fun rides where one goes up and down very steep slopes. You may see the roller coaster in children park. It's one kind of play toy. One goes up and down. And next one is bolted. Bolted means suddenly ran into. Next, legends. Legends, stories from ancient times that may be true or not true. Fables, short stories, often with animal characters that teach moral values. Okay, imagination. Imagination means the ability to think of new ideas. Now we got the idea about some strange vocabulary. Now we will understand the story very easily. Listen carefully. At the end of our today's class, I will provide you some H.W. for you. So keep watching. I hope you have already opened your book now. This extract has been taken from Long Walk to Freedom. Our story has been taken from Buzzword Unit 9, page number 103. Okay, it's a book written by the famous South African leader Nelson Mandela about his own life. And this story has been taken from his great and famous book. The book name is Long Walk to Freedom. And this is the extract has been also taken from this book. He is our Nelson Mandela, great leader of South Africa. Here he describes his childhood days spent in the village of H.W.No. Underline this information. This village name should be information, should be mentioned here and underlined here. H.W.No. As a child, I refers to Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela himself is telling his boyhood stories to us. Okay, I spend my days in the grasslands. Grasslands means an open space, open fields which is covered with green grass. Playing and fighting the other village boys. By 5, I became a hard boy. Have you ever seen a hard boy? Here is a picture of hard boy. He is Nelson Mandela. His boyhood picture, he was a hard boy. You can see another hard boy. Hard boy means a shepherd who looks after goats and sheep. Okay, by 5, I became a hard boy looking after sheep and cows in the fields. I loved caring for these animals. I saw them as a source of food and as a source of food. How? How it can be? Because we know that a cow or goat gives us milk, which is one kind of source of food. And we can sell this to the bazaar or any market. That's why we can earn some money from it. That's why it also a cause of wealth. A blessing from God and a cause of happiness. When we get some new baby from a cow and goats, then we become happy. That's why it's a cause of happiness also. In the fields, I learned to play with a slingshot. You have already seen the picture of slingshot. This is a slingshot. To gather honey and roots. To drink warm milk straight from the cow. Have you ever practiced this? Warm milk from cow? Yes, I personally eat once this warm milk from a cow and became quite skilled at it. I would strike in one direction, then quickly step away in another. From these early days, I became fond of open spaces and the simple beauties of nature. As boys, we created games of our own. My friends and I played with toys that we made ourselves. We made animals and birds of clay and ox-drawn cars. Have you ever seen these cars? Cars, it should be cars. This is ox-drawn cars. You can see there is a picture of ox, and this is a cars which is drawn by an ox. Out of tree branches, they artificially tried to make it. Nature was our playground. Nature was their playground. The hills above Kuno were dotted with smooth light brick rocks. This became our roller coasters. We sat on the flat stones and slid down the face of large rocks. We taught ourselves to ride by sitting on cups. After being thrown to the ground several times, we became better at the game. One day, I learned an important lesson from a wild. Basically, you can see, have a look. You can have a look. An angry donkey threw his rider off. So Nelson Mandela also used to do this. He tried to ride a donkey, but he was thrown away from the donkey. Okay. We had been taking turns, climbing up and down its back. When my chance came, I jumped on the donkey and it bolted into a nearby thorn bush. Bolted means ran into quickly. I bent its head and kept trying to throw me off. In the end, it did so after thorns had pricked and scratched my face. That day, I lost face in front of my friends. After being defeated by the donkey, I realized that to treat another person or animal unkindly was cruel and unfair. To make wild animal pet, you have to be sincere to them, you have to be kind to them. You can't make them pet being cruel to them. You have to be kind and sincere. Okay? Even as a boy, I learned to win without insulting my competitors. After games such as this, I usually returned home and had dinner with my parents. My father told me stories of famous battles and heroes, while I spoke of legends and fables. These tales helped my imagination grow. I remember one story my mother told us about a traveler. Listen carefully, it's a very interesting story from here. Who met an old woman with a terrible eye disease. How was the woman? The woman was a terrible eye disease. The woman asked the traveler for help, but the man looked away from her. The woman asked for help, the stranger, the traveler, but nobody came forward to help her because she got a disease, eye disease. She looked very strange and very ugly. The woman asked the traveler for help, but the man looked away from her. Later another man came along and the woman asked him to clean her eyes. Even though he found the task unpleasant, he did it. Then magically the old woman's eyes were healed. Healed means recovery, get well, and she became young and beautiful. The man married her and became old and successful. It was a simple tale, but I never forgot its message. I understood that goodness and kindness would always be rewarded. These values would help me later in life. So we have finished our reading. Now we will provide you some question answer. You just pick out the question and answer also. Okay, my first question is, what did the speaker do when he was 5? What did the speaker do when he was 5? The answer is here. The speaker became a herd boy and looked after sheep and cows in the fields. He loved caring for them. Again, the speaker became a herd boy and looked after sheep and cows in the fields. He loved caring for them. Number 2, what did the speaker learn to do in the open fields? The answer, the speaker learned to play with slingshot, to gather honey and roots, to drink warm milk from the cow, to swim in streams, and to catch fish with a twine. Number 3, and the last one, what lesson did the speaker learn from the donkey? Answer, he learned to win without insulting his competitors. He also realized that it was cruel and unfair to treat another person or animal unkindly. So this is all about our today's discussion. From our today's discussion, we came to learn that Nelson Mandela was a great and famous politician as leader, and he was also president of South Africa. For his outstanding activities, he was awarded Nobel Prize. Because of his protesting the right for black people, he was sent to jail and he had to spend for several years in jail. So he was very great and famous leader. We can follow some of his activities in our life also. So now your HW is, you have to make 5 true false and 5 fill in the blanks from this passage. You have to read out carefully to make true false and fill in the blanks, and submit this HW next Sunday and collect another Sunday. Guardians or anyone else can come to submit your HW, and stay home, stay well. Thank you very much for watching ours with patience. Allah Hafiz.